O Great Spirit, saints and sages of all times, of all places, most beloved Lord of life, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, O ye powers that be, ancestors of our bloodlines, ancestors of our adopted lines, ancestors of our spiritual lines, ancestors of our marriage lines, ancestors of our friendship lines. Namaste. Most beloved Lord of life, be with us at this moment. Pour forth thy blessings upon us as we gather to lift, to vivify, to strengthen ourselves, as we gather to see clearly the path we are walking, as we gather to be refreshed, to strengthened, to be vivified. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste and welcome. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to this very special day when we honor the lineage of teachers that lead us back to Sri Babaji, the lineage that we have, that we honor in this mystical tradition. Once upon a yogi time, sit back and relax. Once upon a yogi time, there was a young man, young boy. He lived around Chicago, as he used to say. He had 2 brothers and 5 stepsisters. He found it very interesting. Lots of people to watch. He loved books. He went down to the south side of the city and found a library that he could study. And he went to study all of the traditions of ancient Egypt. And he was learning the ancient Egyptian language. And one day, one of the older men who was there noticed him, said, "You've been coming here a lot. You seem to be very interested in ancient Egypt." I am, he said. Well, if you really want something interesting, if you really want to study mysticism, you should look into Sanskrit. You might enjoy that. So the boy began to study. He had a friend, a good friend. In fact, it was his best friend when he was growing up. And that young man's name was Oscar. And he would invite Melvin over to his house all the time. One day, Oscar's mother said, "You know, there's a fella, very strange fella, kind of like you. I've heard about him, and I got his address for you. Here, in case you want to write to him. Here's his address." So Melvin writes a letter. "I've heard you know about yoga. Would you teach me?" And the fellow writes back and says, "Everything you come, everything I can teach you, I will teach you." So the young man saved up and took a bus up to northern Minnesota from Chicago. And he arrived at this very small little town. and the weather was quite bad. And he found a fellow at the bus station who had a truck, and he made arrangements for the fellow to take him out to this little house. The weather was really bad, and they didn't look like they were going to make it. And Melvin kept pleading, please. And the fellow said, okay, I think maybe if I go this way, this road, maybe we can make it across before the blizzard hits and locks us in. Fingers crossed. Sure enough, they got across. The man handed Melvin his luggage and said, good luck, boy, good luck. And in beautiful woman answers the door. Come in. We're expecting you. Shelley's meditating now. Don't worry. He's expecting you. Come and rest. And so he did. And then time for dinner came. And into the room came Shelley. This man, long white beard, long white hair, and the most beautiful, penetrating, deep brown eyes that you've ever seen. Rather short gentleman, but quite a presence. And Shelley's G says to the young man, Melvin, sit, have a seat. And Melvin said, no, sir. Sit, have a seat. And without knowing why, Melvin said, and saluted Shelley G. Shelley broke into a big grin and said, I've been waiting for you. Have a seat. And Melvin said, not before you, sir. And Shelley G sat. And there began the time of study of Melvin, who later became Kriyananda Ji, who later became Swami Pranananda, who later became Goswami Kriyananda. But Sri Shelley Ji, who was sitting there, was a boy at one time, raised in a family, very unusual child, very difficult childhood, frankly, very mystical man. They used to come, people would come to the house and knock on the door to see him, to get his blessings. And his father didn't like that. And so it was quite, from the time he was about 6 until he was about 12, very hard childhood. Very stern father, not so easy. But Shelley G lived through it and traveled as he got older to search for what he remembered. Because Shelley G brought much with him, like you, like me, like Melvin. Shelley brought things with him. And he found his way out to California. He too had heard about the Egyptians, and he was drawn to Los Angeles to study with an Egyptian master. And he went to the temple. The master was gone. He wasn't there. And they said, oh, he's gone off for a couple of weeks on retreat. If you'd like to come back, he'll be back in about 3 weeks. But there's another fella down the road you might be interested in. His name is Yogananda. And he has a center. While you're waiting, you might go. Shelley G walks down the road and begins to study with Yogananda. Good karma, if you will. finds him living at the ashram for 3 years. Now, in later years, he was to take Melvin in, and Melvin was to live at Shelleyji's ashram. Shelleyji lived at Yogananda's ashram. But many years before that, there was a young boy named Muktananda. And Muktananda searched and searched and searched. From the time he was a little boy, he searched and searched and searched for his guru. He wanted to go to the Himalayas. He was drawn to the Himalayas. Please, I want to find. He prayed and prayed and prayed. He ran away several times to get to the Himalayas. He thought there he would find his guru. Well, in time, he got to the Himalayas. In time, he did not find his guru in the Himalayas. In time, he kept searching and searching and searching and searching. And one day, he meets a soul walking down the street. His beloved guru, Sri Yukteswarji. And Yukteswarji opens his arms and says, you came. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you. And Muktananda was so happy with all of his joy. He went and sat and studied at the feet of his guru. When he was supposed to be at school, he studied at the feet of his guru. When he was supposed to be at university, he studied at the feet of his guru. And his guru knew what was going on. So, Muktananda, you need to get that college degree. It's going to be necessary later years. Oh, yes. But he wanted to be at the feet of his guru. And you might know the story. Exam time comes, and Muktananda is praying, and runs into one of his dear friends who helps him cram for all the things he needs to know the next day. And he passed his exam by just the very thinnest margin, they say. And many years later, Muktananda had started a school for boys, teaching them yoga, teaching them the kriyas, teaching them Kriya Yogas. And his guru sent him to America. 20 years he was here. 20 years before he went back to India to see his guru. 20 years living in New York, sharing the teachings and moving across the country. Not easy when he came. He was a Capricorn. Long, hard row. Many people along the way, many very wealthy people, were attracted to Yogananda. Long before the ashram was purchased in Encinitas, people offered him twice the opportunity to build a huge organization, to buy land, to build a big ashram and big temples. One woman, as the story goes, was really very, very, very going to be very generous with her money. She wanted one thing, two things. Everybody who came had to be vegetarian, no exceptions, and she had to go every place with him. She must accompany him every place. No, the answer is no. Thank you for your offering of money, but no, Yogananda said. Meditate on why that is. Because the path of Kriya is for everyone. They don't have to be a vegetarian. It's good, but it's not necessary. Following the path to your joy and your happiness, this is what's necessary. Swami Yukteswarji found his guru when he was a very, very young man, searching for him. Also searching the Himalayas, also not finding there. He found his guru, Sri Lahiri Mahasai, who was a young man. Lahiri Mahasai remember his guru. But he had a family. He had children. He had a job working for the railroad. He was a young man in his late 20s. And one day he got a transfer to a small station in the Himalayas. Such a sudden transfer that his family could not go with him. And there, on a beautiful day, walking in the Himalayas, he encountered his guru, Sri Babaji. Babaji, who is the fountainhead of our lineage. You see the pictures. The young boy on the right, Melvin, became Goswami Kriyananda. And then on the left, Sri Shaliji. And above, Brahmahansa Yogananda. From right, Sri Yukteswarji, Lahiri Mahasayaji, and Aum Sri Babaji. Babaji is the incarnation. Babaji is in this time and this place, the lineage holder, that who brought the Kriya teachings again and revivified them, brought them to life. Now, what is so important about this today? What is so important about the lineage? What's different? Well, we are a householder tradition, a householder lineage. This means that anyone can come. Be married, be not married. Choose to be single, choose to be married. Choose to be both at some time in your life. Sequentially. The Kriya tradition lives and works. Now you might say, where are the women? Right? Where are the women? Well, c'est moi. Many of us. We are living, it is a living tradition. And this is the third generation of American teachers. And what is to be honored and blessed here? Really, the sustaining of the teachings. This is what matters more than anything. The sustaining of the teachings. Each of these souls found Kriya Yoga in the same way that you might find the yogic traditions. Sustaining the teachings is what is so important. The teacher, we're not so important. Truly, truly love the teachings. The teacher is human. And each of these souls who I mentioned, I told you a little of their walk to finding the teachings. But they had students, many, many, many students. There were men and women among them. And many of those have gone on to teach, either accepting disciples or simply teaching and sharing the teachings. Babaji, Babaji, is the symbol for balanced self-conscious awareness at your sun center. It's the symbol for contentment. It's the symbol for understanding and awareness of the nature of life. And so we come together today. And what can I say to you? Just be happy. Be happy. Just be happy at this moment. Just be happy. Of all the things that I learned from my guru, of all the things in the teachings, that was the first that I really heard. And I'll tell you something. I didn't think it was possible. When I heard that, sitting as far back in the temple as I could, I screamed, no. That's easy for you to say. It's easy for you to say, just be happy. Look at you. You're sitting in this nice chair, comfortable. You don't have. And then I went through all the list of life problems I had. But he said it again and again and again and again. And one day I thought, well, maybe I should try this thing he's saying. Just be happy. Maybe I should try to put the practices in place. And a few breaths went by. And I woke up one day and I wasn't at the back door of the temple. I was right up front, sitting as close as I could. And I was meditating. And I heard, just be happy. Well, what do you know? I am. It shook me out of my meditation. It shook me out of my meditation. Oh, how did that happen? How did that happen? What does it mean to be happy? All of these people who have carried the tradition, all of you who are carrying the tradition, all of you who are carrying the teachings, what are you carrying? You're carrying this great understanding of Aum Brahmasmi. You and you alone are the creator of your life. If there's an obstacle in your life, you have to ask yourself, why am I not choosing to change that? Oh, what can I do to soften that? The first thing to do is to learn to meditate, to turn inward. Do it for a moment. Just close your eyes. Now turn your head to the left, exhaling twice. Bring the head back to the center. Now, just watch. Take 3 long, deep breaths and watch them. Okay, you did it. Now, if you do that for a while, thoughts will rise in the mind. And you may not like the thoughts that rise in the mind. Just like Melvin didn't like it, just like Shelley didn't like it, just like Muktananda didn't like it. What do? Use neti, neti, neti. Simple Sanskrit word, repeated 3 times. I am not this thought. I'm not the thought thinking this thought. I am not thought. Repeat it silently. Let's try it for a minute. Again, turn inward. Focus your attention at the point between your eyes, at your Ajna chakra. And just allow any thoughts to arise in the mind. As soon as a thought arises, silently or softly say, neti, neti, neti. Now let that go. How wonderful. A way, a method to let go of the thoughts that rise in your mind. Only those things that you are relative to will rise in your mind. But remember, thoughts are things. They don't come alone. They come in groupets. Groupets. As Kriyananda always says, they have friends. They have friends, those thoughts. So you think a thought, ooh, boy, that's beautiful. And then there's 5 things that are beautiful. And then there's 10 things that are beautiful. And then there's 100 things that are beautiful. That's wonderful. But, oh, there's a thought. It's irritating. Yeah, kind of an irritating thought. And then it's got 5 irritating thoughts. And then it's got 100 irritating thoughts. Netty, 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 netty. Don't let them grow. Don't let them grow. You know, some of you have heard the story. A few years back, I was talking to my guru, and I was a little crabby, I think, that day. I was complaining about something. And I finally shut up. I had gone on for 2-3 minutes. I mean, I was really going on. And he says, Swamiji, how much longer are you going to continue this? And I burst out laughing. Because my mind said, well, I don't know. You know, and maybe I want to go on for 10 minutes. You know, maybe I want to go on for half an hour. And he looked at me. We were on Zoom or Skype, I think it was. And how much longer? And I said, well, Guruji, it was only 2 minutes. And he says, is that the amount of time that's acceptable for you to be emotional? Is that the amount of time? Oh, no, no, right? You know, but it caused me for that moment to say, oh, isn't that a good question? How much longer am I going to be emotional? How much longer do I want to go on here? What is acceptable to me and what is not? You, for you, have to figure this out. You have a problem that occurs in your life. Well, you know, how long am I willing to be upset about that? How long am I going to stir the pot? What's an acceptable amount of time for this mental fluctuation? What is acceptable? Now shorten it and shorten it and shorten it and shorten it and shorten it until with your practice you realize, oh, no, 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 no. As I see it beginning to arise, neti, 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 I neutralize it. You need to be aware that the phrase is pets, people, event, things, and situations. What people are irritants in your life? I don't know. Write them down. What events have occurred in your life that are causing the red button events? The red buttons are just events that have happened that you get upset about, you don't like. Things. What things trigger in your life? What things trigger? What things in your life trigger the emotionality of your mind? And then the last one. What situations? Now, what's the difference between a situation and an event? A situation is a lot of events there. Situation is events that have come together to bring a clump of emotionality, if you will. All of these need to be categorized in your life so that you can reflect, you can say, well, all right, what do I need to do? To change them. How can I change them? How can I make them better? Here's really a very important thing for you to hear and to understand. You are unique. You are unique of all of the humans in the world. The totality of your experiences is unique. Your past life experiences, your experience this life in the past, they're unique to you. Doesn't mean that there aren't others who are similar to you, but you are unique. And therefore, you have the solution for yourself within yourself. You have that which you need to find the solution to your problems, to your obstacles, the solution to let go of all these things so that you can find joy, you can find happiness. You're entitled to that. Now, someone whom I have a great deal of respect for, really great deal of respect and a great deal of love for, said the other day, that what she found in the Kriya teachings was that a way in which she could feel worthy, because she had walked through her whole life not feeling worthy. And that when she felt unworthy now, she could go to the teachings to be able to feel worthy. It takes a lot of courage to say that, I think. And I looked at this beautiful soul and I thought, not once in my entire knowing of this person have I ever had the thought arise that she wasn't worthy. Not once. Known her for a long time, and I never thought she wasn't worthy. But then I remembered the magical statement by Shelley G. Sri Shelley G. He says, well, you think you're not worthy. That's okay. You're probably not worthy. But just accept the blessings anyway. Now that's a freedom. You don't have to make yourself worthy. You can say, "Ah, it's true. Today I'm not worthy. I didn't take a shower enough, or I didn't do this, or my thoughts are this all messed up. I'm probably not worthy." But that's okay. I'm going to say to the divine, I'm going to say to life, bless me anyway, please. Not make me worthy, but understanding you are worthy. You don't have to be made worthy. You are worthy. But if you emotionally don't feel like it, you've got an out. You can say, hey, okay, right now I don't feel like it, but that's all right. I want the blessings anyway. And in time, I will do everything I can to feel worthy. Now, there's a difference between being worthy and feeling worthy. You are worthy. You may not feel like it. So don't let the emotional constriction of your mind say, I'm not worthy, because you are. So why would I tell you this story of all of these, of some of these lineage carriers today, of some of these teachers today? Because it's your story. You find your way to a path, not the path, but a path that is right for you, that will find and bring you greater joy and greater happiness. And all of your life experiences are brought together for this path. One of the Swamis, who freely talks about this, so it's not a secret, is a veteran and has been on active duty during several of the Gulf Wars. Well, you can only imagine how difficult that is. Was in the military for a long time. And now he has been ordained and now he is teaching. But he is also working very hard, as we all do, to forgive those that need to be forgiven, to change the way that we think, to use the Kriyas to help, to bless. You too can do the same thing. And so when you think it's hard in your life, turn inward, ascend upward. Know that you are good, you are worthy. And today, as we honor the teachings, the lineage, and really, if the lineage is honored because the teachings are sustained, it's an oral tradition, that you are a part of, that you are hearing today. It's an oral tradition. And each teacher shares that which is most important to them, which they have captured, which is most important to them. And as you hear different teachers, as you hear different parts of the teachings, you will hear them differently. You will be drawn to go to those who have solved some problem that you have, some life challenge that you have, and you will be freed by listening, by practicing what you hear, by changing the prism of your horizon of awareness. And so on this very, very special sacred day, a day to feel gratitude for everything that we have learned and that has been brought to us, we're going to spend some time in a meditation. And this is a beautiful meditation that was given to us from the lineage. And so, although we often do this on Sundays, today it will be done in a special way because it has been carried down from one guru to another, to another, to another, to another, and shared with you. And so, as we do, I would ask you to turn your attention to the altar, if you will, or close your eyes. And turn inward to meditate. Turn your head to the left and exhale twice, and then bring your head back to the center. Now use the sipping breath, sipping as if through a straw, inhaling slowly. Pull the energy from the limbs of your body to the trunk of your body. From the trunk of your body, pull the energy into the spinal column. From the base of the spine, pull the energy up to the sun center. Now move that energy out in front of you about 2 feet, sweeping around to the left as a golden light, a golden sheet of light sweeping around your body, behind your body, in front of your body. Do this 2 more times. Expand that golden light. And now, at a 45-degree angle, ascend upward above the room you're in, above the building, above the continent, Continuing to ascend upward as high as you are able. Ascending high, high, high to the very highest place of meditation. Find a meditation spot there. In your mind's eye, see a path in front of you. And walk along that path. It leads you to a meadow. Walking through the meadow, hear the birds, see the butterflies. Continue to ascend upward. The path leads through the meadow. You see it ascending in front of you into a forest. Continue to follow the path. Walking through the forest, the path is ascending upward. No stress, no strain. Hear the water running next to you. See the ground cover, the new spring flowers as you ascend upward. You come to a clearing. And you see in front of you a shrine, perfect for you, perfect to your taste. The shrine is a perfect color. And as you enter the shrine, it is filled with brilliant light. Brilliant, brilliant gold and white light. The light is filling the shrine. You see coming from the back of the shrine an ever brighter light. Walk toward it. You find a pool of brilliant, brilliant light, and you walk into that pool. And seeing in front of you a waterfall of light. As you walk in, your shoes dissolve away. Your clothing dissolves away. And you walk back towards this beautiful light. The light pours itself down upon your crown center, covering your entire being in light. Filling every cell of your being with light. Accept the colors as they pour forth. The light moves into every cell of your being. When you are ready, allow one more time the light to shine upon you, to pour through you, this waterfall of light. Your body may begin to levitate a little. Just lift your face up and feel that light pouring into every cell of your being. The difficult, heavy karmas having dropped away, filled with the light. The heaviness let go. The emptiness filled with light. And walk forth as you are ready from the waterfall. Feel yourself clothed in brilliant new clothing, clean, shining. As you leave the waterfall of light and walk through the pool, you are radiant. The light has filled every cell of your being. Walking from the shrine, knowing you may return here at any time. and return to your place of meditation in the high space. Om, 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 Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalanyanamurtim Dvadaditam Raguna Sarisham Tattvam Asid Lakshmiyam Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvati Shakti Buddham Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namame Chaitanyam Shasvatam Shantam Shirakalam Nirandalam Nada Bindu Kalatitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Ujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanjaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Dhyanamulam Guru Murti Ujamulam Guru Padam Mantramulam Guru Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. Be thou blessed, be thou blessed, be thou triply blessed. Become an ever greater blessing unto those who enter your aura. At this moment, feel the golden dewdrops of Ananda pouring forth upon you. Ananda, 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 Ananda. May every cell of your being be filled with light. May the obstacles be lifted and removed. And may you find joy and deep abiding contentment with every breath that you breathe. And may you share that. And let us join together in chanting Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The sound of Om, the blessings of all of life contained within that sound. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace beyond the deepest understanding. Radiate this forth into all of life, that all sentient beings be touched by the light and be filled with peace as they seek, as they wish. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for your blessings today. It's a joy to be with you. Thank you for the blessings of your presence, the blessings of your Yoga City. It is truly, truly a lovely day. Shanti.